Hi, this is Dario. I just wanted to show you something that I figured out when trying to find good 2D assets for a platform game that I'm working on. The process involves using Unreal Engine 5 as a 2D render studio to capture characters or even 3D models or assets as image files, which then you could make flipbooks or even pixel art, which I'll show you in a follow-up video. So in order to start, just make a new level, make it an empty level, and you need to enable under plugins movie render queue. Render queue. All right, if I can spell it, there you go, queue. It'll require engine restart. Okay, so now after the engine restarted, just go back to your scene, and it's pretty empty. There's nothing here. So what you'll need to do is have an actor or a character. In this case, I'll just use one of the pre-built assets from Epic. It's under, oh, yep. And what you do is you take the skeleton and just drop it in the scene, and you can reset the transform just so it's in the middle. There we go. Just zoom around to it. So we just need to light it. I'll just use 2 spotlights to light the scene. So an easy trick here is if you click this little 4 icon, you get the different perspectives, top, bottom, left, and right. So you can use these to line up the scene. Just do a little rotate here, rotate it up, and this one here towards her, so you can see there she is. All right, that's the one side. And if you don't know, if you hold Alt, you can drag and it duplicates. You can just do a quick rotate. There we go. So now it's looking pretty well lit. Not the best, but it's okay. I'm just going to reduce this to about 5. So these lights have reduced luminosity to 5, and that's good enough for what we're trying to do today. All right. And then to go back, you just click the window that you want. There you go, back into the viewport. Okay, now that's set up, I'm going to add under cinematic, you just add a camera. And this one, just do a simple 90-degree rotate, pull it back like this, so it's in frame. We'll adjust this in the next part. Okay. Now what we must do is we need to add a new sequence. So I'll just, under sequence folder, I'll call this render studio, and do OK. And you see now it's a blank studio. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag the actor in. There she is. All right. And we need to also drag the camera in. Okay. And what you can do is the camera, you can make it, if you click this, it sets the active camera to the one you're looking through. If you go into viewport, it can be, you can't really see what it's looking at. But if you click this one, the camera you just added into the scene, you can see what it's looking through. And now what we're going to do is we're going to animate. So I'll just search jog, and I'll say jog forward. There we go. Okay. So you'll see here that she starts running. I'm going to shorten the scene by dragging this, and this is the end of the frames that you render. So make sure you drag the red line too. So you see here she's running. I'm going to rotate her 90 degrees because you want to do a platform game. So now she's running sideways, you can see. And now just save it. And if you hit this button to render, it'll take you to the movie render queue. And we just want to change a few settings here. So if you select the export, we want PNG. So delete that, and settings, PNG, and the output directory, I'm going to set it on my desktop in a render folder. You can change the name of the file and the resolution. I'll just keep it default for now and do OK. And at the bottom here is a render local. And now it's going to render. It takes a bit of time because it's going to compile shaders. So just give it some time, and depending on the computer, it'll be quicker or slower. Okay, now that's done. If you go to, let's just go large icons. All right, you'll see here, if I just look, you see that it's rendered the frames of the actor. Okay, and it's almost there. But you will see some of it is a bit blurry, and how you can, let me just delete these. How you can get better results is inside the sequencer, under frames per second, you can bump it up, say at 120, but just keep in mind, if you click render again, that it's going to render more frames, so it'll take a bit longer. But this way you can try and reduce the amount of blur in the scenes. And again, you can go up to like 240 if you want to. And you can see it's a lot better. You'll just have to play with a few settings to see what works best for you. Yeah. Okay, but the other issue here is the frames have black backgrounds. So for when you want to create flipbooks, you need to remove that. So again, I'll delete these. Go back to Unreal. Now inside project settings under renderer, just scroll down to rendering and scroll into post-processing, because we're going to create a post-process material to make sure that you can get the alpha channel. So under post-processing, enable alpha channel support, choose the through tone mapper. It's going to require another engine restart, so let's restart it and just save selected. Okay, so back in our sequence, you'll see the animation is still there. Everything looks the same, but if we just say render, under Render Studio, go to the config, make sure this is PNG, and what you can do is you can actually save it. So save preset, we call this save as preset, we call this render studio. You can't say it like that. Render studio config. There we go. So PNG sequence, make sure that that's checked, and the output is over here. Select. Okay, that's all fine. Do OK. Render local. Okay, so now it's busy rendering, but it's going to be rendering with a transparent background and not a black background. And this is really important for when you make sprites. And you can see here, it's transparent background. There's the gray around it. Okay, how you use this, and this is something I've figured out. You'll see there's a lot of frames here. It's too many. So what you can do is, if you have a grid view like this, just select a whole bunch of frames and delete. And this gives you how many is this now? 15 items, so 15 frames. It's okay for a pixel art style or a 2D platform style. And what we can do here is, if you go into 2D and you just select these and then import. Okay, now you've imported the frames. Now you want to make them into sprites. So with them all selected, you can select them again, right click, sprite action, create sprites. There we go. All the sprites have been made. Then you select your sprites, you right click and say create flipbook. Call this 2D run, and you can go in here and you've got your sprite. And now you can use this in your platformers. So I hope this was useful. Please like and subscribe. And in the next video, I'm going to turn this into a pixelized version of the character. Thanks.